Hello, it's CraftyRia, and thank you for joining me for another video. Today we're going to be doing card sketch number 5. These card sketches have been a really big hit over in my Facebook group, which is Create with CraftyRia. So head on over there if you haven't already, and you can share your work and see everybody else's take on the sketches. This time I have the correct number. It's number 5. So let's get started. So for this card sketch, I'm going to do 2 cards as usual, an all occasion card and a Christmas recycling card. So for the first card, the all occasion card, well, first of all, this sketch calls for a piece of wide ribbon, some decorative trim, and then some sort of a design element there. And I have this piece of wide ribbon that is so pretty. I just could not wait to use it. So I'm going to use it. It's a little wider than the ribbon on the card, but that's okay, or on the sketch. And I found this gorgeous little butterfly in my stash. I had gotten it in a little envelope full of Happy Mail, and I thought it went really good with this ribbon. So I'm going to be using it. It fits perfectly in that size square, and I found this glittery paper that matches the colors really well. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do about the decorative trim, but we'll figure that part out when I get there. So for this card, I'm using for both cards, I'm using a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base, which is the A2 size. And for this card, I thought I would have it open up and down, just to be a little bit different. And I'll keep the base of the card, the back of the card, white. So I kind of measured this ribbon a little bit, and I was kind of playing with it, and there's these blocks of colors, and it measures perfectly even with a block of color on the top and a block of color on the bottom. So I'm going to cut this piece even with those blocks of colors. And then I'm going to cut it 1 block larger than the card, which would be along this block. So I have a 1/2 block hanging over on each side. Since I'm not matting anything, I do want to hem the ribbon. So I'm going to hem a 1/2 block over on itself. I kind of figured this out because I didn't want the colors to mix with each other or look kind of off as far as the hem is concerned. So I thought it would be perfect if I used the same block of colors and folded them back on each other. I have my handy dandy ATG. It ran out of tape in my last video, and I remembered to fill it up. I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on the back of this whole block here, which it might not work so well. I'm going to give this a try. And then I'm going to fold this block on top of each other to make a hem. You can do it however it works best for the ribbon you're using. This just happened to work perfectly for this. This ribbon is a little bit sheer. If you can see my fingers through it, you can see the words through it. I didn't want it to look funny behind itself. And actually what I'm going to do on this other one, I should have done it on the other side, is I'm going to just trim, I'm just going to miter it just a little bit on each side, the part that's going to be folded behind, so there's not a lot of bulk. I'll go back and fix the other one in a minute. Put a bunch of adhesive on here, if I can get this adhesive to stay. There we go. You can use double-sided tape. I'm not sure if glue would work. It just depends on whatever you are using for your decorative ribbon or your wide trim. And then I'm going to fold that back on itself. And this side here, I'm just going to pull up the edges a little bit and trim off. I'm just trimming off that orange stitching, because having the stitching folded back on itself is a little bit too thick. There. I just took off that little bit of stitching. Now I have tape on my fingers. Okay. So we have a nice hemmed piece of ribbon. There it is on the back. And you can't really tell on the front that it's hemmed. It does not really look any different. I want to make sure it still fits. It does fit perfectly. Now that worked out perfect. I didn't plan it that way until I was ready to use it. But that looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down to the paper. I'll use this same adhesive. Sometimes it's hard to get adhesive to stick to ribbon. I especially want the edges stuck down. This tape seems to work pretty well for that. And I want the top and the bottom. Of course, it's stuck to me really bad now. Or really good, I should say. If it was stuck really bad, it would come right off my fingers. It's kind of funny. This is my blooper video. Okay. There's the bottom. And I'm going to line it up with the top because I can always trim the bottom off. Okay, now I'll turn it back right side. Okay, there we go. I think that looks kind of cute. And then I'm going to cut out a square to go around this. I think that's a pretty good size. Let me see what size it is. I'm going to guess it's 2 by 2. Nope, 2.5 by 2 1/4. Okay. I was kind of close. So let's go ahead and just cut this at 2.5 by 2 1/4. I put my guard back on. I did not cut any fingers off in the last video when I had it off. And then I think that would go right on there. I think that looks really good. Before I adhere it down, I want to make sure I don't want to put some kind of a matting behind it. And I have these choices for some decorative trim. I have this green bling, which is kind of cool. There's some green in here. I have plain green ribbon, but I would have to hem it again. I think I like this green bling. And it is just about the right width. Okay, I'm going to make it 4 pieces tall. And I'm just trimming it as close to the rhinestones as I can. The rhinestones that I'm cutting off. And I need to trim off the strings on the other side. Let me get my better scissors for that. My string ribbon scissors. Okay. I trimmed all that, gave it a haircut. And let me see how many pieces I need. I need to cut off 2 from the ends. I'll cut off 1 from each side just to make them nice and even. Again, I'm cutting the strings as close to the rhinestones that I'm cutting off as I can, or that I'm keeping as I can. There. And then we have that. I kind of like it, and I think I'm going to leave it alone. I'm afraid to do too much to it. I'm afraid to add too many colors to it. So for this, I think I'm going to try running my tape across the card itself. And we'll see if I can get that to stick down. I might have to put a little bit of glue on it. Okay, and I can get rid of any excess tape. There we go. That holds it down pretty good. I don't need to add any glue. It's held on there really good. And I'm still thinking about this piece. I have this green cardstock. I think I'm going to mat it behind it just to pull up some of that green. Then I'll trim it out. I don't have it down straight. Let's try this again. Let's put this down nice and straight. There we go. All right, I like it matted better. I like it. Okay, and then I will go ahead and glue the butterfly right on to that. It's my art glitter glue. I'm going to use the glue because it's hard to put tape on a shaped piece, and it's also easier to get it to stick to glitter paper if you use glue, I think. I ordered some new glue from Amazon, and when it gets here I will tell you what it is and I'll give it a try. It's exciting. If it works well, you guys are going to love me for this because it's going to save you a lot of money. We'll see. I can't promise it'll work, and I don't want to say too much until such time that glue comes in. I'm using my foam tape. This is 1/8 of an inch thick. It's really nice. This is leftover yet still from the Dollar Tree. I have a big roll I got at Christmas time from Amazon, and I haven't had to open that one yet. I got it as a Christmas gift. I put it on my wish list. I think that's linked below to tape of this size, and they're huge rolls of foam tape, and they're really reasonable. Okay, so here we go. There is card number 1. Here it is with the sketch. I think that came out really cute. I like it a lot. I'm glad I put the green behind it. Okay, I will set that aside. And let's get to work on the Christmas card. This is the Christmas card I picked from my stash because this image here is about that size. I'm not going to measure it perfectly. I'm just going to use whatever I have to get this image. And I thought I would use this across the top as my decorative trim on the bottom. And I went through my stash and I found this gorgeous ribbon that has the red and the green and stuff in it. That I thought went really well with the stripes and the different patterns in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I have a piece of this gold cardstock. Here you go, you can see my camera. This gold cardstock to mat that on. In case you're wondering, my camera is just up there. I have a light next to it, and it's just on a microphone boom. Kind of a tripod taped to it. It's really kind of crazy, but it works. All right, let me give this a cut. I'm going to do the same size card. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I just want to make sure I cut this a little bit longer than I need. This ribbon is a little bit different, and I don't think I need to hem it. I think I could just let it be, because it doesn't really, it does fray a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. Let me see, I'll play with it in a minute. I'm going to take the wires out. I took the wire out of the other one before I started the video. And if you need wire, you can always save them for other craft projects. I think I'm going to just tape that down really good and not worry so much about having it hemmed. So what I'm going to do for this ribbon, because I want to tape it down really good, I'm going to use my pencil and make a little mark on each side, just on the top and the bottom, just a little mark so I know where to put my tape down. And I'm just going to kind of go a little bit inside of that and put several strips of tape across. If you have nice, really wide tape, that would work well as also. And I'm going to do really good at the top and the bottom here. Then I'm going to erase. My desk is, everything on my desk is starting to lean toward me. It's all caving in on me. It's caving in on me. I'm just going to get rid of those lines. And then I'm going to just place my ribbon. It definitely has a front and a back. I'm going to place it down. I got this ribbon at a candle store. I think it was right at the border of Ohio and Indiana. And they had a clearance section in the back with bags of these ribbons for real cheap. I guess it's just leftover pieces from their bow making and things, which I, of course, grabbed it up because I've used so much of the ribbon I got from there. I got Christmas ribbon and I got all occasion ribbon. There we go. I like it. That looks like a Christmas blanket or something. I think that's really, really cool. So we have the wide ribbon down, and I guess the ribbon is even on the card, but the pattern on the ribbon's not even, but that's okay. I don't think anybody's going to really notice that much. And if they do, that's too bad. Okay. And oh, I from the last video, I love all your comments about the Hornet King. It really cracked me up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to go back and watch it and then go check out the Hornet King. All right. The inside of this card, there's writing that's too close to the sentiment, so I won't be able to use it. And this is washi tape that was on the envelope that I put it inside because I thought I could recycle it. It was too busy, too pretty to throw away. All right, so I'm going to cut this card a little bit further down than the... I'm giving this a really wide border because I think I want to do something with this. So I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to trim out these candles. Trim off the top and then also the bottom. So there I have that focal image. And then for the inside of the card, I think I'm going to use this Happy Holidays because I hate to waste it. I think I could just leave it like that. There we go. And cut off this edge to make it look like it was meant to be. There we go. I'm going to cut closer to the S so that way it's even on both sides. So that'll be the inside of the card. And my all occasion cards, I generally don't put sentiments on the inside because I can use those for birthdays or whatever. Okay, so for this, I thought I would use my decorative scissors and cut across it. I'm going to try it on this scrap piece and see what it looks like. I told you my desk is caving in on me. I have these decorative scissors with that pattern that I thought would be really pretty. Yeah, I think that's going to work well. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it really good on this side. Yeah, I think I can. Okay. I think that's what I will do. So I will have a little bit of cutting. I was going to say something. A little bit of therapeutic cutting. That's what I meant to say. I have to remember to hold these in the frame of the video. I'm so used to holding them closer to my face. And whenever you're using a scissor like this that has a definite pattern to it, you want to line up the scissor in your last cut. So that way you are keeping the pattern, keeping the continuity of the pattern. All right, let me get some of this out of my way. All right, so I have that for the bottom. Let me go ahead and cut this, put it on this gold. I think that looks really pretty on that gold. Let's get a little bit of my tape. I hope you are all staying healthy and staying well, keeping yourselves busy. I'm still working full-time, and it has been so busy for me at work. I apologize for not getting more videos up. I will probably be able to do more next week. The end of the month is always kind of crazy for me. I need to trim off a little bit more of this edge. There we go. I think that just adds a little class to the card. And then we have this down at the bottom. I'm not sure I love this down at the bottom, so hold on. I have this gold, you know, my favorite stuff here, this gold glitter ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I'm not sure, it's not wide enough for that. I still don't think it's wide enough for the card. I'm wondering if I could make something out of this. I have this little piece of trim. Yeah, I could make a double trim out of that. Okay, I think that's what I'll do. So let me cut a piece of this to about the width of the card. And then I will put this piece of trim, I'm trying to see if it has a right or a wrong side. I don't think so. Kind of on it like that. So it looks like a really fancy piece of trim. All right, I will put my tape on the back of this. And this ribbon just trims real easy. It does not fray at all. It's not like a regular ribbon. It's not very clothy, I guess you could say. It's more like a plastic ribbon. And then I have my score tape that is 1/8 of an inch wide. And I thought that would be good to hold this piece down. I will put it right about there. I'm just kind of guessing. I will put another piece right at the bottom. To hold the thicker part of that trim on there. And then I will peel off the backings. and then stick this trim down. And then give it a trim. I've got glitter everywhere. So there we have a homemade fancy trim on the bottom. And then again I will use the I can't think of what I wanted to call this. The foam tape. Some people call this humpers. I think they don't know what a humper is. All right. Humper sounds like a bad word to me. Maybe that's why they call it humpers, because they think it's funny. I don't know. I call it foam tape. You let me know what you call it down in the comments. And if you know why it's called humpers, let me know, because I don't know why. Maybe it's because it makes a hump. I don't know. All right, there we go. So we have that card. See if I can get some of my mess out of the way. There's my card sketch and my 2 cards. I really hope you enjoy this video. If you like it, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I have lots of great videos coming out. If you click on that bell, that notification bell, you'll get notifications whenever I upload a new video. And as I mentioned before, head on over to Create with CraftyRia, my Facebook group. We're having a lot of fun over there. And I post the sketches there, and then everybody posts what they make with the sketches. It's really interesting to see everybody's take on the sketches. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'd love for you to leave me a comment below. Thanks again. You take care, and until the next video, you know what to do. You know. Go get crafting. Bye-bye.